Back again. Who said you can do 2 video or demo videos in one night? We did the ikamare earlier, or the raw fish. We're going to do, what are we doing?
Chowder.
We're going to do a chowder. My bad. Okay, lots of people have asked, can you show us how to do like your version of chowder? There's many ways to do chowder. This is mine, or one of them. I've got many ways. Come over here. Don't look in the rubbish bag. But over here, I have diced up onions, carrots and celery, and I have seafood. I have crab. This is crab that was frozen, purchased from the Sea Mart in a box, cheap as chips. Mussels, prawn, look at that, baby octopus, look at that, lovely baby octopus. I have a bag of seafood marinara, which is just a mix of all different types of seafood, as you can see in there. I have some cockles, and I also have some fresh terakihi, which is in the fridge. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the base of the beginning steps. Here you go. We're on a mission here. We've got short time. What I'm going to do is I've got a block of butter. I have 100 grams of butter. I'm going to add it in. This pot's pretty hot. And then I'm going to add the carrots. And the reason I'm adding a lot of butter is because I'm making a roux. You can't see me right now because the extractor's working real hard. Woo! Yeah, look at it. And basically, plenty of butter because I'm going to make a roux. A roux is a thickening agent used for soups and whatnot. I'm going to make a normal standard French roux, which is butter, flour and stock. So what I'm going to do is saute in the butter, as you can see, my vegetables or my base of my soup, of my chowder. Look at that, it's coming well. I'm going to add some garlic. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of garlic because I love garlic, and it's good to keep the vampires away and shit. So as you can see, that's melting down quite nicely. And what I'm going to do to that is I'm going to add some spices. In my hand here I have cumin spice, turmeric, curry powder and smoked paprika. These are the spices that I kind of like. Semi-Indian, a little bit Moroccan, however you call it. I'm going to add it all. Boom. There you go. Lovely. I'm going to stir that in. Okay. To make a roux, you need to add flour. And the rule of making a roux is basically equal amounts of flour to butter. So I've added 100 grams of butter here. I'm going to add 100 grams of flour. See that? That's sauteing nicely. All the flavors are incorporated. You can add anything to a chowder. Some people don't add nothing. But this is my version, like I said. Flour. Boom. This is the secret to a chowder. And I'm just going to slowly add my flour and stir it in. And it's going to slowly start. That was a bit of a bug. This flew in. My bad. I'm just going to add 100 grams of flour, and this, as you see, will start coming together. Hoping you can follow me out there. Let me know on the uploads whether you can follow me if I'm speaking too fast or fresh or whatnot. But I'm trying, based on time constraints, to do my best to help you guys out there impress your woman. As you can see, that's roughly about 100 grams of flour. It's come together and it's made a roux. I'm just going to cook that off. Let that cook off a little while. Let me just fan out of the way. We're dealing with hot stuff right now. And then all I'm going to do to that now is add stock. Earlier I made a fish stock. What's in the fish stock? I use bones, water, celery, onions, and then I just brought it to the boil and simmered it for 20 minutes. As you can see, as I'm adding the fish stock, come here. As you can see, I'm adding the fish stock. It's quite liquidy, then it becomes thick again. That's the roux working its magic. And we're just going to keep adding until we get the desired consistency. You see that? Boom. It's looking good, it's looking good. So this is fish stock. I'm using fish stock because I'm making a seafood. What am I making?
Chowder.
Chowder. Fuck, sorry, my bad. And there you go. We start adding that. Fish stock to that. While this is happening, I have two pots on. Well, I have a pot here and I have a pan on as well. And what I'm going to do while this is all happening, because that's thickening and we're going to get the desired consistency, I'm going to add this, which is the crab and the mussels, to a hot pot. I've seen some people make mussel dishes and they boil the shit out of it. That's the, you know, you're losing all the flavour. So this is what I do. Basically, straight in the hot pot, cover. As you can see, it's steaming nicely in there. And then what I'm going to do now, while it's hot, I'm going to add a bit of oil. And that's all you do. And that's going to steam nicely. I've got another pan on, and this here is for my cockles. The reason I need multiple pans is because cockles cook at a different time to mussels and crab. So by doing this, I'm separating the method. So watch this. This is quite smoky and hot. Boom. And then I'm going to cover that. Boom. So I've got three things happening here. I'm going to take this off the heat so I can stir it. You can start to smell the flavours of the chowder come over here. As you can see, what's happening here, it's becoming thick, chowder consistency. And I'm just going to add a little bit more stock. Not too much, maybe about another 500 mils. And what I'm also going to do, which helps my flavour, boom, there you go, which helps my flavour, is use this. Right now, we have mussels and cockles steaming. What's happening, once I strain this, I'm going to use the stock as well from the seafood. And that's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm going to add it to this and make it happen. It's pretty simple. Chowders are a beautiful thing. Look, you know, different ways to do it. So just play around with it. Don't overcook or, see, as you can see, it's starting to open nicely. You don't want to overcook seafood. That's pretty much ready to rock and roll. And all I'm going to do is turn this off. Can you see the sauce in the bottom? The juices? I'm just going to drain it off. Just like that. And that's going to stop the cooking process for the cockles. And then I'm going to add it to my chowder. So we're not wasting any flavour. Everything from the seafood ends up in your chowder. I'll do the same with the mussels and the crab when they're done. Just going to turn that off. Let's check on them. Nearly there. Once they start really steaming and getting in, then they're ready. As you can see, this is happening. Okay, it's not quite there yet. Actually, what I might do to speed up the process, I'm going to add it to this pan here. Hot pans is the key. I'm just going to put a lid on that and let that steam away. As you can see, the consistency of this chowder is quite nice. It's not too thick, it's not too runny, but let that come to the boil because it's going to thicken. If it's not thick enough, just reduce it. Or you add more butter. Say if you're making a big pot of chowder, add 200 to 250 grams of butter. The same with flour, and that will keep your chowder nice and thick. That's the secret. And if your soup needs thickening, add some coconut cream, because that's what we're going to add at the end. So this is a basic chowder. I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like once we incorporate everything. What I'm going to do now is just let that simmer for a little while, and I'm going to take all the mussels out of the shells, and that's going to end up in our chowder later on. The crab, more garnish, and you can eat or extract the meat from inside. But what we're using from this is the juice that's being released right now, which is the sauce, and we're going to add that to our chowder. That's the secret. So I'm going to come back and show you part 2, how to finish it, what it should look like, and then plate it up. A legal piece.